orb as it spun, and Magnuson caught it with an effortless twist of his calloused hand. He bit into it, the crunch snapping through the evening, and his dark gaze shifted toward the ghoul.
"You grow fat and lazy,"
the Wraith chided. Magnuson just laughed. How irritating. I'm fat and lazy, am I? The man sat on a toppled log and leaned his elbow on one knee as he took another bite of his apple. I spent 3 days combing through this overgrown forest for signs of predators. All that, and I barely slept. Studying the land to assess risk was a necessary precaution and a worthwhile delay. You will never convince me otherwise.
"You wasted precious time," the ghoul said. "This land is safe, and you found nothing that could threaten your human pets. No living creature got in or out, just as I told you. Even the catacombs remained sealed."
A miracle, really, given all the enchantments taxing Slayborn's residual magic, but he wasn't about to admit as much aloud. The rush of wings on the air cut through the steady chorus of the breeze, and a brilliant red sparrow landed on a nearby branch. Its body glowed with the fire of a star as it sang into the fading daylight. In its belly, light surged and faded in time with its rhythmic twittering. A soft hum buzzed in its chest as its magic swelled. In his mortal lifetime, the Wraith might have thought the tune to be enchanting, mesmerizing even, like the voice of an angel trapped in a tiny ball of feathers. In death, however, it was just another noise. As he held the half-eaten apple, Magnuson pointed at the bird. You say there's no threat here, and yet the animals have changed over the centuries. They're not the same breeds that lived here in your day. You said so yourself.
"True,"
the Wraith begrudgingly admitted. There you go. Magnuson bit into his apple with a self-satisfied nod. The delay was worthwhile. Stop complaining. The ghoul studied the tiny sparrow as its crisp song sliced through the air. Though Magnuson had a point, the Wraith King wasn't going to admit it. While the towering pines swayed overhead, Magnuson sucked in a deep breath of fresh air. His chest expanded, and his eyes briefly closed as he savored the day. A day the ghoul would never feel. A white-hot flicker of envy snaked through the Wraith King's core before he could squelch it. He paced to distract himself, gliding back and forth above the grass.
"I have only allowed you this reprieve so that you could recover from your duel with the Starlings," the Wraith announced. "Get on your feet. We have much to do."
Oh, is that what this was? A reprieve? Magnuson grinned and took another bite of his apple. How considerate of you, oh merciful one. Another prod. Another joke. It was odd, really, how much the ghoul enjoyed their banter. He suppressed a chuckle and scanned the forest around them to keep himself occupied. If he had been told in his life how much he would one day appreciate a peasant's company, he would have killed the oracle foolish enough to lie to his face. But they had no time for this.
"Yes, it was a reprieve," the Wraith countered. "A storm is coming, Magnuson. You're simply in the eye, and you cannot yet see the true scope of the devastation barreling toward you."
I know. The man's smirk faded, and he set his free hand on his waist as he studied the forest. He took a few final bites and tossed the apple core into the forest for the deer to finish.
"Where is the bloodstained dagger you procured from Teagan Starling?"
With an impatient sigh, Magnuson stood and lifted his shirt to reveal the weapon's ornate leather sheath strapped around his waist. Soft green light radiated against the hilt, and he tugged it loose. The light intensified as it left its casing, and an emerald glow illuminated his face while he studied it. It's hard to believe such a tiny blade